What up, y'all? T-Lo here for the parlay and for AV Boxing News and Fight Night Chicago. We are here in front of Credit One Arena where Kenneth Sims Jr. and Duarte are about to do battle in Golden Boy Promotions. Huge fight night in Chicago. One of the first fight nights, major fight nights we've had here in years. The last one was in 2019. I know Usyk was here when he fought on a card at Wintrust Arena. But guys, we got a fight in Chicago. Oscar De La Hoya is in town, and the vibes were pretty immaculate yesterday at the weigh-in. You guys were at the press conference on Thursday. First, how were the vibes at the press conference when you were there?
It's just excitement. It's just excitement having fights back in Chicago, long overdue. A fight city, a city that's been around fights for years, and now we're just getting that action back. So everyone's excited, and a lot of people were appreciating our city, how beautiful our city is. Like our skyscraper, the weather, everything's just falling into place.
Yeah, and that the weigh-in happened yesterday. We were there at the Daily Center in downtown Chicago. How'd you feel about that vibe and the weigh-ins?
Oh, it was great. I love the way Chicago showed up for Kenny and showed up for Golden Boy. Oscar, you could tell, loved Chicago, so it was definitely a big turnout for that. And the intensity between Kenneth Sims and Duarte at the face-off, that was the one I was looking forward to, and it lived up to it.
And it's going to be awesome. Like, now we're at fight night. It's Saturday night. It's our pre-fight show here. We want to talk about some of the fights that are happening here. A lot of preliminary fights happening outside of the main card itself. But we have a guy named Edwards, heavyweight, that Oscar was raving about yesterday. He's been raving about for weeks. How do you feel about him and him coming up in the rankings? He's saying that this could be the next American heavyweight champion.
Yeah, it's something to definitely look forward to. Hopefully he has a great performance. American heavyweight is long overdue. The fact that we actually have one. I mean, heavyweights has always been an exciting weight class with knockouts, and I actually had a chance to talk to Ronnie Shields yesterday, his coach, and he said we should look forward to the skills that he brings to the fight and potentially a knockout. They're hoping to end it early, of course, to keep that heavyweight drama going a little bit. Yeah.
The fight of the night that we've been talking about, Z, of course, is, you already know, Prograis and JoJo, man.
Yeah.
These two have been at it for years, talking. Prograis coming off of being a two-time champion. We know his battle with Devin Haney and so forth. How do you see that fight happening? We're all looking forward to that one.
I'm really looking forward to that fight. That's the one that's going to steal the night for me. I think it's going to be the fight of the night, and I think Prograis going to win that fight, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Prograis, we all talked to him yesterday. He seemed really confident. He went off the vibe of like not being a main eventer. He was really relaxed. He said he was a little stressed out in those main events, right, with 20,000 people in the arena. But he seemed more relaxed this time. But JoJo's still somebody to be reckoned with, Tony.
Oh, definitely, definitely. JoJo has, I mean, he's faced the likes of Tevin.
Here we go. 3, 2. We streaming? All right, audience, if you just tapped in, we're just waiting for people to tap in real quick. Here we go. Just checking with my production guys real quick. Y'all here? Y'all here? Everything streaming? Everything rolling? All right, here we go. All right, here we go. In 3, 2. What's up, guys? Welcome into the parlay alongside my guy, Alex Carrera from Square Circle Report. My boy, thank you for being with us.
What's going on,
We
man?
missed you in the pre-fight show.
Yes.
But you're here for the post-fight show. So that's all that matters, big dog.
And to make my presence felt, you know?
All right, guys, Tony from AB Boxing News and, of course, Z from Fight Night Chicago are inside the arena right now talking to fighters and getting coverage for their platforms. But we're outside Credit One Arena here, where we just finished watching the Kenneth Sims Duarte fight here in Chicago, Illinois. A fight where very exciting. The vibes were immaculate. I mean, I will tell you right now, Chicago really showed up. Before we even start talking about the fights, Chicago showed up for this event, and the crowd was great.
Yeah, they've been waiting for it, and they showed. You know what I mean? That's what they wanted for. We're down here in the middle of Chicago. You can see the skyline right behind us, and that's what we wanted for. And we got some great fights. The co-main event was one to talk about with Jojo Diaz and Prograis, and then we got the main event with Duarte and our hometown fighter Kenneth Sims Jr., man.
Yeah, you know, we'll talk about the co-main event first. You know, one of the two things that we were excited for was the co-main event and the actual main event itself. And listen, Jojo Diaz and Prograis put on a hell of a fight. When I tell you that this is the fight we were all looking forward to, this is the fight we were all looking forward to, and they did not disappoint. We got a round one explosion where Jojo stuns Prograis. He buckles a little bit, and Prograis had to wake up and say, all right, I'm actually in a firefight. I have to remember this. How'd you feel about that in the first round?
I mean, Prograis was running that first round, and then Jojo just hit him with that bomb like you were talking about, and he had to regroup and change his plan, but he came out and won, man. And Jojo was landing some bombs and stunned him a few rounds later, but Prograis stuck to the game plan and came out with the victory. You
know, we talked in the pregame fight about how Prograis and Jojo really needed to show out because this was a title opportunity, right? A chance for them to go out there and get that title match. And really with Prograis, we saw a lot of boxing skill. You know, people forget that he can box. You know, the power may not be Jojo's, but he had the ability to box, and the jab really was the difference when it comes to, we're getting bit by mosquitoes, by the way, over here, so don't worry about us. But the jab really was something that really affected the fight. Prograis had that jab, Jojo didn't. And I think that's what the determining factor of this fight.
Well, Jojo had some pop, though, like unexpectly.
Oh, we're going to talk about that right now, but yeah.
But back to what you were saying, Prograis, yes, he was boxing really well, but he was getting hit a little bit, but every time he got hit, he brought it back. You know, it was a pro Jojo crowd, but Prograis still had his fans out here.
No, dude, Prograis did his thing, and even in the weigh-in, he had a lot of people, cheering for him. But really, when you got a crowd like this, especially Chicago, the Mexican faithful showed out, made a lot of noise. Chicago crowd tried to drown them out, but really, Jojo had the crowd on his side. But really, after that first round, after Jojo made that impact, we saw Prograis step up and start to box. Later in that fight, we saw Prograis start to do his thing, and then we got the headbutt in the middle of the fight. Jojo had a cut right on his, I think it was his right eye, and they were checking it in between rounds after round 4 and 5. Something that's unfortunate in boxing, we all know that we don't 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 know that we don't. In the fight, we saw Jojo having moments, we saw Prograis having moments, but really at the end of the day, Prograis really had most of the activity. The judges did see it that way, and Prograis ends up winning. And now he has a chance for a title fight.
A lot of my friends were asking me too, like about the fight, and then I'm like, look, man, these guys are two guys that need a win, like you were saying earlier. I said this is a can't miss fight, and that's what they gave us, man.
Yeah, but we all predicted fight of the night, and I think it was fight of the night. We're about to talk about the main event in a second, but definitely Prograis and Jojo gave the Chicago boxing fans a treat. And listen, as a Chicagoan myself, I appreciated that fight. I was with my right-hand man, Kevin, who we were just talking about really, this is what we deserve. Chicago's been needing a fight night of this nature, and they provided us with that. And I know you as a Chicago guy, I know you appreciate it.
Shout out to Golden Boy and the Zone for coming out to Chicago and having the fights out here, man. This is something that we haven't had fights in a while. The fans are hungry, and then we're good to go. Yes.
But hi, my name is Raina.
Hello,
I am
Raina.
a barber. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Raina. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm located at 68th
Yeah,
and
we're live right now.
You're not on the mics right now, but we got you in 1 second. Can we shout you out in a second?
Shout out right
And
now.
if you ever need a hairdresser,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Just give us a second while we finish up, and we'll shout you out in a second. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Not a
All right.
problem. Not a problem. The Chicago faithful out here doing their thing. So, one of the things that we see after the co-main event is we saw the main event itself. And, man, Kenneth Sims Jr. came out with G Herbo. Unexpected. Nobody really knew that, right? And then afterwards, we saw Joe. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, he came out last. I didn't expect that. Kenneth came out second to
It's
JoJo.
his hometown. To Duarte.
Oscar knew what he was doing.
To Duarte.
Yeah, but JoJo came out. Listen, the crowd was stunning. It was evenly split, I think, in regards to people, but the Mexican crowd really making the noise and really showing out for Oscar Duarte. But getting to the main event, if you saw the main event here on DAZN, we saw right away what we predicted. We saw Kenneth Sims using boxing skill to keep Oscar away, but we really saw Oscar Duarte using that power, using his stalk ability, and getting to Kenneth Sims, and basically winning by majority decision. It was something that we did predict, but we did think that honestly Kenneth would be able to win by points. Something that didn't happen.
Yeah, I was picking Kenneth to win. Obviously, I'm a little biased in being from Chicago. I am Mexican too, but still, like I was expecting him to outbox him, but Duarte had that pressure on him too much, and he was the bigger fighter, and he looked way bigger than he did in the weigh-in. So
yeah, for sure. And it's something that's taught. And I was talking to some people off camera about how Floyd Mayweather was able to use that same style and use it to perfection against people who stalk, right? Mexican style, continuously stalking, continuously getting after somebody.
yeah, but it's a big difference because Mayweather had that right hand piston like jab that he just kept hitting people
Accuracy.
with, and you had to respect it because he was knocking people's heads back. So that's the difference right there.
As you look at the fight with Oscar obviously threw more power punches, was a little more active than Kenneth, obviously, and we can see Kenneth didn't have the same power as Oscar. What difference would you have made for Kenneth in that corner to be able to pull out a fight of this nature?
I mean, move a little more, but it was a 12-round fight, so I think he had to reserve some energy and stuff, so he couldn't move too much. 10-round fight, it might have been a different story, and Sims pulls it off.
We saw moments too where Kenneth was staying on the ropes purposely,
Right?
maybe to conserve energy, right? Maybe to try to find a different angle. Is that something that you would have recommended for Kenneth in a way that would get him to the end and have more energy, or was that a mistake?
I think we just got to give it props to Duarte, man. He just had the gas tank and then with Robert Garcia, they had the game plan down and they just executed it. I don't think he could have done anything different to change it, other than it being a 10-rounder. If it was a 10-rounder, I think Sims takes it. Yeah. Because you don't have to reserve the energy.
Well, one of the judges had 114, which is a very interesting card there. I'm not sure if that's what I would have seen in this particular fight. But as we know, judges always see things differently. It's the angle thing. It's the top, left, right. It's hard to really determine what you see action-wise.
And it's in his hometown, so you got to get a little love when you're home field advantage. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But Kenneth did exactly what we thought he would do. He would use his boxing skill. He would use the jab. The jab was he used the jab very well. I'm sure he out-jabbed Oscar. I don't have the copy box numbers in front of me, but I know he out-jabbed Oscar. But again, when you're consistently likely you're not going to win that fight. And so my question to you now is, what does Kenneth Sims Jr. do next? What's in it for him? Is that that this lightweight division is still stacked. Does he get a rematch? Does Oscar provide it? We're not at the press conference yet, but what do you think happens?
I don't think Oscar gives him a rematch. Oscar got to move on to bigger things and kind of back to the drawing board and get another similar fight. Like I can't think of a name right now, but maybe get one of the guys that are coming up from 140 from 147, catch one of those guys, and then go from there and see what happens.
I mean, you have Roach and Javante who are going to fight again. Those have been nice names for either of these two guys that potentially could have been the next fight. But Kenneth Sims does have to go back to the drawing board. He needs to find out exactly how he fits in this division and maybe tweak his style a little bit when it comes to higher echelon opponents. That's something I was thinking about during the fight because, if his power can't transfer over to a higher division or even this division itself, he's going to have some issues and he's going to have to rely on his boxing skill. But if you're fighting somebody like Oscar Duarte, you're not going to be that successful.
Right. No, absolutely not, man. If you don't got the power, you got to switch something up and move a little more cardio, whatever, get more gas in the gas tank, and that I think that's the way to go.
You know, with that said, you know, Chicago boxing is something that's revered here in this city. If you're watching us from different states, you know, we haven't had a major fight here in quite some time. We love boxing in the city of Chicago. This is something that Kenneth really worked his ass off, right, to get to this point, and Oscar believed in Kenneth to do this. And so what do you think happens now? Does Oscar, you know, look at this situation and say, well, you know, it was a good crowd, but there's not really a star in Chicago, so we stay away? Or does he maybe bring a star over here and fill the Allstate, or, you know, or something like that, or back to Credit One?
He's seen the crowd here. This holds about 9,000 people, like pretty sold
It was
out.
a good crowd. It was a good crowd.
It was just about
I heard
sold
you
out.
yelling 10 rows above me, dog.
Yeah, no, Oscar knows what's up. They showed him a lot of love at the weigh-ins, so he knows what he got here and the crowd, and he's been here before, and he knows the history of boxing. But I remember Oscar was a boxer, now promoter, so he knows where the roots are. So he's gonna bring it back, and he knows he tapped into something good here, and I know we're gonna see Golden Boy back here.
No,
And
for sure. Top Rank can do something easily like this at an arena like this, of course. But I think Oscar did see that Chicago fans did show up today. You know, it wasn't a sold out event, but they showed up. There was a lot of fans here. They were very prideful, right? They were cheering on, especially the Mexican fan base. I mean, you already know, all over the states, the Mexican fan base holds a lot of weight. So
absolutely, and bring it back. Prior when Usyk was out here a couple years back, he brought all of the Ukrainian fans. You got Ukrainian Village down not too far from here either.
Yeah.
So they brought he sold that place out. Just local Jessica McCaskill was fighting on that card.
True.
That was a good card, man. He had a lot of talent on there, and I don't know. We just lost some steam with COVID and all of that. We had all of that. But we're back here now. Security.
We are live right now.
Security.
Please.
And I work at Longevity Barber.
We have a lot of fans out here, out in the city of Chicago. Real quick, one person you spoke with over the weekend that you really enjoyed talking to, fight-wise, you know, boxer, promoter, whoever. One interaction that you really had fun with over the weekend.
Prograis, man. I met the Prograis back when he fought Cepeda and won the title for the second time in California. Yeah, he remembered me. You know, we chopped it up. We talked about his training, what he did different, and what he's doing. But and then he put on the show, man. He said he was gonna go all out, and that's what he did. And then shout out to Jojo too, man. I talked to his manager, and he told me he got him really focused. Everything. Both fighters were in phenomenal shape, and they gave us the fight of the night, man. Props to both you guys, man.
Absolutely, man. I gotta say the same thing. Honestly, I was trying to have a different answer, but Prograis really gave us like he gave me a real, like, you know, when he told me, like, you know, the pressure of being a main eventer is there. That's like that's a real feeling, you know.
Right.
You got to fight in front of 20,000 fans. You got obligations for media to do this and that. Maybe a 24/7 reel for whatever network is helping you. That all that stuff is so true, right? And so when a boxer comes in and focuses solely on just boxing and just getting the job done, we kind of saw the results of that today, right? We saw Prograis do his thing and outbox, Jojo in this fight. But Prograis was a very honest interview, without a doubt. Oscar, you know, seeing Oscar for the first time in real life, that was also an awesome event. You know,
Oscar loves the fans, dude. He loves talking, he loves the cameras.
Listen,
he loves all that.
You may talk a lot of crap about Oscar and whatever you think about his nets and whatever, but this guy is a people person. He talks to as many people as he can, autographs, smiles, does pictures. You know, I got my picture with Oscar over the weekend, and it definitely was it was awesome to see a guy I grew up watching fight, especially, you know, fight one of my favorite boxers, Tito, in person. So
you can't forget the Clapback Thursdays.
Clapback Thursday. Yeah, absolutely. Keep them, Oscar, if you watch this, bro, at any point, keep those up, bro. You got me laughing at work during the day. Man, Alex, where can they find you, man?
Squared Circle Report on Instagram and TikTok. And you can also find me on Squared Circle Report Official on YouTube.
Absolutely, man. Of course, this is the parlay alongside Kendall Gill, who could not be here today. He's a 15-year NBA veteran, also 4-0 as a professional boxer. He does send his salutations. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Everything, all the platforms are right there on our channel. We do boxing every single week, podcasts every single week. We got some side videos and reels for you guys. Prepare for more content, more boxing content, especially from the city of Chicago on all of our platforms. With that said, from Credit One Arena in downtown Chicago, Golden Boy, thank you for bringing this event over to us. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you very, very, very soon. For Tilo, for Alex, this is the Parlay.